step toward justice tonight for a family in Union County. It was nearly 6 months ago that a 17-year-old girl was shot and killed here in Charlotte.
Now, almost half a year later, we have the first arrest in the case, and police believe there could be more arrests in the future. It was May 31st when shots were fired at the intersection of North Graham Street and Craighead Road in North Charlotte. 17-year-old Nevaeh Carter was killed. Her family believes she wasn't the intended target, but was instead caught in the crossfire. 20-year-old Tracoby Meeks was arrested yesterday, charged with Carter's death. Meeks appeared in court today where he was denied bond.
Following that court appearance, we caught up with Carter's mother and a local advocate outside the Mecklenburg County Courthouse.
The two describing what the last 6 months have been like, but furthermore explaining why this shooting should have never happened.
It's been the hardest 5.5 months that I've had to deal with this. Even though an arrest has been made, it still doesn't bring my daughter back.
This is a
So my condolences to the mother of the young lady who lost her life in this situation here. Another example of senseless violence that's plaguing our community. And like she said, her daughter should have never lost her life. And it's good that someone has finally been arrested in connection with this murder here, because now it can start the process of people actually being held accountable for what's going on. And that's the most important thing now, is that people start being held accountable. And I remember hearing this story. I definitely wasn't doing YouTube at the time, but it's good that the news is still bringing light back to the situation, and just making sure that everyone is informed of what's going on and keeping everyone updated with this. Let's see what else is being said about this.
a complete failure. This is a violent offender. It is a violent offender who is constantly going through the revolving door, in and out.
Catch, release, catch, and release. It's a problem that has plagued Charlotte as well as a number of other cities. In this case, as we found out, the man charged with Carter's murder has been arrested now a total of 5 times since June of last year. Some of those charges involving breaking and entering, robbery, possession of a weapon of...
Wow. This is why events or incidents like this happen. It's because they'll have someone who clearly shows no disregard for society, or for the next person, and they'll have them, and they'll just release them when a notice to appear. I see it happen way too often, because certain individuals, once they get into, doing stuff and they have in their mind, hey, I'm gonna just be released, they really just don't care as far as, they really just don't care as far as, what they do and how they go about doing it, because they know they'll be released, they know they'll be given a court date. And as they were saying, as the advocate was saying, it's just a revolving door. So it's going to be something that lawmakers in the state have to take a look at, because this isn't only happening in Charlotte, it's happening in other cities as well. And from June 2024, it was July 2025, October, September, and now in November, he's been arrested for probably one of the worst crimes that he's committed out of the previous 4. So it was kind of like it was just kept building on and building on and building on, until we got here, until we had an innocent person who lost their life. Let's see what else they have to say about this unfortunate situation.
Mass destruction. Prior to the murder arrest, Meeks was granted bond totaling just $90,000. Meeks, now charged with murder, is due back in court.
Step toward.
Okay, so I do have another video here, and let's get another opinion from a different news source.
Earlier today, a suspect in the death of 17-year-old Nevaeh Carter appeared in court as her mother continues to push for justice. Police say Nevaeh was shot in her car early on May 31st during a chase on North Graham Street.
WCNC Charlotte's Anna King now joining us live from Uptown. And Anna, you were in the courtroom this morning. What happened?
Yeah, I was, and today Nevaeh's family got the opportunity to stand before a judge and the suspect. Nevaeh's mother, though, got the opportunity to speak directly to the suspect and detail just how painful these last 6 months have been for the family. Now, this hearing ended with bond being denied for the suspect. Thursday morning, the family of 17-year-old Nevaeh Carter says they finally received a small bit of justice.
I'm glad that he was denied bond today.
As 20-year-old Tracoby Meeks, the primary suspect in connection to her daughter's killing, faced a judge.
It's been the hardest 5.5 months that I've had to deal with this. Even though an arrest has been made, it still doesn't bring my daughter back.
For months following the shooting, the family was left waiting. The community held vigils, released balloons, and pressed for answers. Following Carter's death, Meeks was arrested on multiple occasions. During those times, firearms in his possession were tested and were found to be connected to the shooting that killed Carter. That evidence led prosecutors to believe he was present and participated in the event that led to Carter's death.
But I know there's others, and I'm just waiting to see how many were actually involved. But just knowing that they have one, it does give me a bit of peace of mind.
Advocacy groups say this tragic case is a part of a broader surge in violent crimes and failures in the justice system to keep dangerous individuals off the streets.
The court system here is playing Russian roulette with the safety of this community.
Yeah, and I agree. It's just very unfortunate, that this young lady, lost her life. In a situation too. I'm sure, she more than likely had no involvement, just an innocent bystander. And I'm sure there's going to be others who get arrested. They're just putting this out as, warning and notice to them who were involved that, the doors are, that the walls are closing in on you. Like I said, condolences to the mother. A mother shouldn't have to bury their 17-year-old because of senseless violence. It's this young lady, of course, could have went on to have like such a bright future. Could have done a lot to help bring value and a lot of value to her family. And you never know, who she could have been or what she could have become. And for her life to be cut short is very, very unfortunate. And I do feel like everyone that was involved, hopefully they'll be brought to justice. And hopefully, they won't get bonds either, to where they're able to get out and do other crimes against the community. And we just have to really start taking really like a lot of accountability for these things, because a lot of people in the community do know the individuals who are involved in this, and a lot will stay silent and won't speak up. But then in turn, if it happens to someone they love, if it happens to a male or female within their family who loses their life, then they'll know exactly what this mother feels, and they will want justice for their loved ones. So I try to look at things from that type of perspective, and we have to do better. We have to do better. We really have to do better, as far as once you see a pattern with the person, that person shouldn't be on no catch and release type stuff. They shouldn't be able to post bail and just be back out and back onto their criminal ways. So again, my condolences to this mother. I'm hoping that she, her and her family definitely get the justice that they deserve in this situation. for losing their teenage loved one in such a tragic way. Uh, so I'm gonna go ahead and close this video out. If you like my content, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. I would love to hear your comments about this situation. And once again, this is Justin Paul. Peace.